Welcome back to the 2023 NCAA Championship Final here at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. We are on to rotation number 2. I am Bridget Sloan, and I will be your bar analyst for this amazing national championship. There is so much talent on the floor tonight. On uneven bars for rotation 2, the Oklahoma Sooners, the reigning NCAA champions, and a team who left a little bit on the floor in the semifinals on this event. They are number 1 on uneven bars, led by head coach KJ Kindler. They started on uneven bars in semifinal number 2, and they were just a little tight. Tried a little too hard for the sticks. Watching them in warm-ups, they were fire. This is Danielle Sievers, sophomore, had a 9.9 in this lead-off position so far, doing an outstanding job. And she wants this stuck dismount. Outstanding performance for Dani Sievers. In my opinion, a really underappreciated athlete in that leadoff spot. Just so much talent, but there is so much talent in general on Oklahoma. A big hug from head coach KJ Kindler, who has been so impressed with Dani and what she brings to this team. So fun, just loves gymnastics, competing in her second NCAA championship. Oklahoma off to a strong start in this second rotation. They lead the way after rotation 1, but if you take a look at the standings right now, that margin is so tight it squeaks. These teams know they have to be perfect. Oklahoma, they know what it takes to win, and they want another one here today. Up next for Oklahoma, this is Danae Fletcher. Danae is a sophomore, had a 9.85 in the semifinal. Just waiting for Dani Sievers' score to come through. And Dani Sievers, wow, does she deliver. Starts this Oklahoma team off with a 9.925. Wow. Danae is set up for a big one here, and can she do it? Absolutely. Nice pike Jaeger to start things off. Hansen half pirouette right in that vertical position. Just the dismount. See if she can get the stick. That is a fought stick, and does she get it? Absolutely. Danae Fletcher coming off of the 9.925 from her teammate Dani Sievers. This Oklahoma bar squad, they are not number 1 just by chance, ladies and gentlemen. You are seeing why. They stick the landings. They hit those handstands. Wow, what a performance for Danae Fletcher. And up next for Oklahoma, this is Olivia Troutman. In her 5th year, had a 9.8875 in semifinal number 1. An athlete that the coaching staff has really had to pace properly. Olivia, in her 5th season, has been a part of multiple national championship winning teams. Olivia is capable of a big score, and after the first two bar workers for Oklahoma, they are putting up some big numbers. Danae Fletcher with the 9.9125. Olivia in the third spot for this Oklahoma bar squad. Here she goes. Up to the high bar, right back down to the low bar. Nice and floaty on that pack. Has one of the best double layouts in NCAA. Right here, can she stick it? I don't know if I'm gonna call that a stick. Her feet moved about a half an inch, but throughout that routine, there was nothing. The technique was nearly perfect. See what the judges take. We have 6 judges on our panel. They will drop the high and the low and average the remaining 4. Right now, Oklahoma is looking to drop Danae Fletcher's 9.9125. So with Oklahoma in the semifinal, they had quite a few 9.8s, which is a great score, but when you are Oklahoma, you are used to seeing the 9.9s. They strive for perfection every routine, every athlete. Next up, Reagan Smith, senior, coming back for her 5th year. She has a new structure to this bar routine. She used to actually connect. She's gonna do a ray and a pack, but she used to connect them, and head coach KJ Kindler said she focused so much on the connection that it sometimes messed up the ray itself. They took out that combination, and man, has she been lights out. This is Reagan Smith, had a 9.925 in semifinals. Starts with the ray, beautifully done. Wow, right on top of the bar. Dismounts, a double layout. The tiniest shuffle backwards, but Reagan Smith, she is coming after Olivia Troutman, 9.95. Wow, wow, wow. Oklahoma, #1 on bars. You don't say. With these scores and these routines, there is no surprise there. Outstanding job for the Sooners so far in the next 2 athletes. They are very impressive. Next, Jordan Bowers has a season high of a perfect 10. At a 9.875 in the semifinal. Talking to her, she said, I tried a little too hard in semifinals to be perfect and to stick the landing. I want to make sure tonight I just do my normal. And watching her in warm-ups, she was aggressive, she fought, and she stuck about every single dismount she did. Oklahoma, they're the 2022 NCAA champions. And when we talked to head coach KJ Kindler, she said, we don't even talk about defending. This is a new team. Every meet, we just want to get a little better and better. KJ makes sure her athletes stay in the moment. They know what it takes to win, and they won another one today. Reagan Smith with a 9.8875. This is Jordan Bowers, sophomore, capable of a perfect 10. Line change into her Jaeger. Little close, you saw those arms bend just a little bit, but did not break any of her rhythm. Beautiful handstand hop pirouette. When we talk about sticking the dismount, fights for it and gets the stick. She has a season high of a perfect 10. She is coming after Reagan Smith, 9.8875 right now for Oklahoma. They are looking to drop Reagan Smith's 9.8875. Danielle Sievers starting this bar rotation off with a huge 9.9125, and her teammates delivered right after. Danae Fletcher with the 9.9125, Olivia Troutman 9.95. So they are putting up some huge numbers, and there is one athlete to go. Hugs all around for Jordan Bowers, a sensational athlete. And in the anchor position for Oklahoma, this is Audrey Davis. She had a 9.9 in the semifinals, a junior. Has one of the prettiest bar routines, in my opinion. Has some unique elements, some eagle grip. But the technique that she brought from her club gym into her college career is just breathtaking. And Jordan Bowers score in with a 9.925. So right now they are looking to drop Reagan Smith's 9.8875. This is Audrey Davis. Eagle grip into release. Beautiful, the flight she gets. Has a very difficult dismount coming up right here. Go back to the eagle grip. She does a front giant, and then she's going to do a double front with a half. Wow! In semifinals, she wasn't quite as perfect, but that routine had a little error in semis. Not today. That was incredible for Oklahoma. They led coming into this rotation number 2, and they're going to be dropping the 9.8875 from Reagan Smith. It is only, what will Audrey Davis get? That is the question at hand right now for the Oklahoma Sooners. And that completes rotation number 2. Oklahoma right now, they have a 49.6 on bars, and that is without Audrey Davis. Just waiting for her score. This NCAA championship, we knew it was going to be difficult. But wow, these scores. You know, this is a moment where as an athlete I can say, man, I'm glad to be retired, because this sport is so hard. Holy moly. See what Audrey Davis gets. I think it's going to be a big one. Coming after a 9.925, and it matches.
Welcome back to Rotation 3 here at the Women's Gymnastics Championship. I'm Ashley Miles-Grigg, bringing you all the action on the balance beam. And here in Rotation 3, we have the Oklahoma Sooners, who are working to defend at this halfway point, working to defend the national title. They are currently in that top spot going into the balance beam, which is such a crucial event in the postseason, in the final. The last 2 championships have come down to performances on the balance beam. Oklahoma has given no indication that they're going to be slowing down anytime soon, and they will be led off by Jenna Dunn. She has been so huge for them in this leadoff spot. This team went 49-5-5-0 in the semifinal. They were lights out. The only team that outscored them on this event in the semifinal we'll see next in the 4th rotation. Oklahoma is dialed in on this event. Of course, they had the uncharacteristic 2 falls in the 1-2 spot that surprised everybody, but they showed that they made those adjustments, and that is a thing of the past. Good start, looks solid, looks confident, and very calm. All great things you want to look for when an athlete in this leadoff spot mounts the beam. Flight series, triple, back handspring layout, slight balance check, but brings it back very nicely. That'll be a minimal deduction. Good position on both of those leaps in that combination, gets the connection, it gets that 180-degree position. There's the required full turn. Oklahoma, let me tell you, on balance beam, they do such a good job of composing these routines and paying attention to the detail. Dismount, stuck landing, gainer full off the side, and I guarantee you, teammates, KJ Kindler there, didn't expect anything less from Jenna Dunn in that leadoff spot. One of the keys we talked about is keys to success. So important to have a strong leadoff performer, and if they can score 9.9 or better, that sets the rest of the team up nicely, because when they build these lineups, generally, you want the scores to build with your anchor being the most consistent and the most high-scoring potential routine. Oklahoma does a great job of doing that. When you can start off with a 9.9, that puts the pressure on the judges then for the following routines coming up. If they can hit, that's when you see those big scores. Olivia Troutman getting ready. Just has to wait for the judges to tell her it's time to go, getting some last-minute words of encouragement from KJ Kindler. She went 9.950 in the semifinal. And Olivia Troutman is what I call, I've deemed her the postseason ninja. That's the name I'm giving her, because she has a knack. A lot of times at the beginning of the season, she may not be available because of injuries, but she battles her way through and comes up in those big moments. And it's just been remarkable to see throughout her career her do that. Of course, just a reminder, 6 athletes go up on each apparatus. The top 5 scores count, so there is a little bit of room there. If somebody has a fall, has a mistake, puts up a low score, there's still 5 other opportunities to get those big scores. Of course, this is all a numbers game. It's all about maximizing the scoring potential. In Oklahoma, one of those teams on every event, but specifically balance beam, they do a great job. Here's Olivia Troutman on the beam. Score in for Jenna Dunn, 9.850. So again, those few balance checks kept her out of that 9-9 range in the leadoff position. Great full turn. That handspring, layout. Oh, wow, a little bit off on that. But fought to keep that in check and on the balance beam. Switch leap, switch side, good combination there. Front pike again, very uncharacteristic bobbles from Olivia Troutman. So maybe a little bit of nerves, that pressure situation. Oklahoma is a team that does so well in these pressure situations. Just the dismount doesn't give anything away on the 1.5. And she's smiling. She stayed on the equipment. Guarantee you she would have loved to be able to get those bobbles back. We'll see what the judges do with that score. Balance beam, again, so crucial. Cannot overstate how crucial balance beam is. This is one of those nerve events, maybe even more so than the others because of the apparatus itself. It's only 4 inches wide. And the slightest bit off can throw you completely off. So again, in the semifinal, this Oklahoma lineup started off with a 9-9 and just really continued to build each routine. Not so much there. We'll have to wait to see what the score will be for Olivia Troutman. The deeper into the lineup that you start to see those scores, that's leaving opportunity on the table, those tenths, every tenth. These competitions a lot of time come down to 25, 100ths, or 1,000ths of a tenth. So every detail crucial. Jordan Bowers up next as we just wait for the score for Olivia Troutman to come in. Big opportunity for Jordan here. Again, 6-judge panel. It's hard to come by those big scores because there's 6 judges. They all put in their score. They drop the high, drop the low, average the remaining 4 to get the score. To get a 10, 5 judges have to agree that it was perfect. That's very difficult to do. Jordan Bowers season high, 9.975. She's ranked 7th in the nation on this event. Went 9.825 in the semifinal, so definitely some room for improvement. She can score better than that. Olivia Troutman scored 9.825. Here's Jordan Bowers. I really like the uniqueness of how she mounts the beam. All of that work at the level of the beam. Great full turn. Got really loud in here for this flight series. Back handspring layout right as she was about to go. That was a Trinity Thomas vault that I believe was a good one. This crowd erupted right before that. Does a really good job of staying tuned. Good position on the leap pass. Again, these athletes put in so much work to stay focused. They practice that. Sudden eruptions. You really do have to have ice in your veins to compete this sport, especially on being double twist. And nails the landing. And while Jordan Bowers was making her way through that remarkable beam routine. Just a slight balance check. Trinity Thomas recorded another 10. That makes her 28 10s. And I know we're on the beam, but that is significant. It's not very often that records are made, or history is made. That's a big deal. So congratulations to Florida and Trinity Thomas on a 10. Faith Torres on deck for Oklahoma. She will be up next in that 4th spot. Jenna Dunn started them off with a 9.850, followed by Olivia Troutman, who went 9.825, waiting for the Jordan Bowers score to come in. Faith has a season high of a 9.975, just a freshman, and she became just the 10th gymnast named to the Big 12 Newcomer of the Year. She did a remarkable job in the semifinal with 9.925. Those last-minute instructions, last-minute reminders from head coach KJ Kindler. Oklahoma has won 5 out of the last 8 championships. They've been very, very dominant in recent years, looking to hopefully repeat. They would love nothing more, but they've got to get through this beam rotation here to do it. And finally, Oklahoma breaking into that 9.9 threshold. Jordan Bowers score is in. It's a 9.925. Even with the little balance check, her routines, I guess, was just very clean. Called the wolf jump that she did, just a single dance skill, side aerial, layout. She's got a really good pace, a good flow to how she works the beam. You can tell she's very comfortable up there. She's one of those athletes that works balance beam as if she's on the floor. Makes it look very, very easy. Switch leap straddle jump. Gets that 180-degree position on those leaps. Just the dismount. 1.5. Doesn't get the dismount. Hop forward. Again, Oklahoma, these teams are so close. Oklahoma giving some tenths away here and there. We're used to seeing them stick, and then the next sticks, and the next sticks. So those stuck landings, we talk about getting 4 in a rotation. If they can get that, the coaches usually feel like they've given themselves a chance. So still 2 athletes left in this Florida beam lineup. Next will be Audrey Davis, who is stunning on the balance beam. Audrey, a junior, she's competed in every meet on the balance beam. She's got a season high of a 9.95 and went 9.8625 in the semifinal. So again, lots of room to improve. If she can get through this beam routine without any major deductions and be clean, she can score big. Again, only 1 score so far in that 9.9 range for Oklahoma in this rotation. That was just from Jordan Bowers, 9.9125, waiting for the score for Faith Torres. And one of the things that's interesting about Oklahoma is when you talk to them, they talk about how their best scores for them have come on the road. So this is a team that is very much comfortable competing on the road. That's when they get their biggest scores, which is pretty significant. Faith Torres in that 9.9 range, right on the dot, 9.9 for Faith. So a good, solid score. Audrey is just exquisite on this event. She displays all of her strengths throughout the dance, the movements, the connections, the composition of this routine is great. There's that required full turn. Flight series, back handspring layout. Good connection, good form. Nice and square right over the top, no problem. Front aerial. And this is a good routine. She looks so comfortable up there. Beat jump, split with a cat. Actually leaves, her eyes leave the beam. She flicks her head back, and sometimes I think that's such a risk, but she does it so well. Just the dismount, double twist, and she nailed it. That is exactly what this Oklahoma beam lineup needed from Audrey Davis, and she just delivered. Big reaction from KJ Kindler. Her teammates know that it was a good one, and joining me is Bridget Sloan. Bridget, welcome in. Oklahoma on beam. They didn't start off as strong as they did in the semi. They accomplished what we talked about is so important with a 9.9 in the semi, but only 9.85. Nothing major, no falls, but just some little balance checks, some nerves, I think, maybe creeping in. But the last three competitors have been lights out.
Well, Ashley, you and I know better than most how nerve-wracking balance beam is, especially when you know what's on the line. I mean, these athletes, they're not competing here to get second place. They are competing to win that NCAA championship. Oklahoma with such a strong beam performance. Ultimately, these are great scores. Do not get us wrong, but if they want to capture that NCAA title, the last two performers have to be nearly perfect. And Audrey Davis, from what I saw, was almost that.
Her routine was flawless. It was beautiful. She didn't have really any noticeable bobbles. Her positions were good. Her connections were good. I think she does a really good job of composition of the routine, from the dance to everything.
Well, and it looks like coming after Faith with the 9.9, and Audrey, she was set up for a big one along with Jordan Bowers, the 9.9125. Again, not hitting the huge 9.95 that we're used to, but still, those scores are building, and you know, head coach KJ Kindler, she strategically built this lineup because ending with no other than Reagan Smith, who is used to being in this anchor position and clenching the NCAA title last year.
It came down to her beam routine, and she was spectacular. She's no stranger to being in this situation. She can score high. I mean, season high for her is a perfect 10, and the scoring for Audrey Davis, 9.95, exactly the setup Reagan needed.
Senior Reagan Smith coming back for her 5th year. So Sooner fans, don't worry. She's coming right back for next year.
So crucial. Back handspring layout. Nice. Again, this is the athlete that you want in this situation, because guess what? Like we said, she's been here before. Beautiful front aerial.
She moves with such purpose on balance, being very fluid with her movements.
Wow. Only back handspring swing down. A lot of athletes would rather not do that move, but she's square on every single time, no problem.
I can't say that I've ever done a back handspring swing down, but if I did, I would hope that it would look like Reagan Smith's, because she, like you said, Ashley, always square. And this dismount, the height, the lift.
Oh, I'm telling you, They've given away just a little bit here and there. That was the only thing, that hop forward. So again, we'll have to wait to see what the judges do with that. But overall, Oklahoma, very good showing on the balance beam.
She fought for it.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. She fought for that landing. She knew what was at stake, and they are headed to floor, which is a great event for them.
So if you want to make sure you keep up with Florida, if they are your team, you can see every one of their floor routines. Just switch over to the floor stream with John Roethlisberger. He'll be covering Oklahoma in the 4th and final rotation. Oklahoma in a great spot right now. They have a good opportunity on an event where they're so strong. And they really, those last 4 performers for them, Jordan Bowers, 9.9125, Faith, 9.9, Audrey Davis, huge, 9.95. And I think Reagan Smith's score is going to be another solid score that's going to put them in a great position. And next up in the 4th rotation is going to be, of course, the #1 ranked team in the country on the balance beam. And it's a 9.9 for Reagan Smith, 49.5125 for Oklahoma on the balance beam. Good showing. Make sure you join us.
Welcome back to Dickies Arena. Man, it's all come to this. It started in January. It's been an incredible season, and it's been a breathtaking season. I call it electric. Electric's the word that I want to use, and it is going to all culminate in about the next 15 minutes or so. A national champion will be crowned, and here's what we're looking at right now. Welcome to the stream, by the way. The stream team, Dream Team, has had a great time at these national championships, and I am John Roethlisberger. You're listening to the floor stream. Hopefully you got the quad box up, maybe you just got me up, who knows, but you probably got ABC live on the TV. And here's what we got. The defending champs, the Oklahoma Sooners. They are moving to the floor exercise. Oh my gosh, we're on here. Hold on, let me do a couple moves for you guys right here. There we go. And Oklahoma's on floor. Florida, they are on the uneven bars. They are about 0.1875, not about, exactly 0.1875 behind the defending champs. Utah is in 3rd. They are a little over half a point back. It feels like they need help from both Florida and Oklahoma if they want to jump up to the top spot. LSU's got some work to do. They're on vault 0.7125 back. But let's get to business here on floor exercise. This is Audrey Davis leading things off for the Sooners. Very nice double twisting front. Controlled landings. That is the name of the game for the Sooners here. Can't afford an out of bounds. Can't afford more than one routine with an uncontrolled landing of any kind. Audrey Davis, I gotta tell you what, an unbelievable gymnast, but on the landscape of women's gymnastics, not the first star that comes to mind, but she delivers over and over again whenever you need it. And in a lead-off spot. Wow, this is, woo, I need oxygen. This is gonna be incredible. I'm gonna try to update you around the gym just because I kind of want to do it for myself too. But Elena Arenas starts off vault for LSU with a 9.9. Sloan Blakely who had some trouble in this NCAA semifinals, comes out of the gate for Florida with a 9.925. Again, only 0.1875 behind the Oklahoma Sooners. Their second gymnast is up, Victoria Nguyen. Put themselves in such a great spot, have the Florida Gators with that big score to open with. Audrey Davis opens on floor exercise with a 9.9. That is also a great score. Now, Reagan Smith. Reagan has been unbelievable this season for the Oklahoma Sooners. Always been a great gymnast, but seems like she took it to another level this year. She's gonna have to do it. The Gators are coming strong. Beautiful controlled landing on that double tuck. I don't think 9-9 scores are going to be good enough for Oklahoma to hold on to this lead. It's going to have to be 9.95s. Well done. More to go, gotta be clean, double pike. That was great. I'm curious, that double pike at the end, she kind of split her legs, one forward, one back, and kind of stayed in place. Will the judges look at that as a landing short kind of step forward? Or are they going to look at it as a clean landing? I mean, honestly, it feels like it could go both ways almost. And again, I know I saw like a broken record, but 6 judges. And, you know, if you get half the judges seeing it one way, half the judges seeing it the other way, it's going to be a deduction. You don't have to just convince 2. You've got to convince a number of them. Third gymnast, Kayla DiCello, mounts the uneven bars for Florida. She follows Victoria Nguyen's 9.9. So 2 9.9s or better for Florida on bars. Still waiting for Reagan Smith's score. If it's a 9.9, I don't feel like it's going to be above that. Utah and Beam, an event they just absolutely dominate. Morgan led off for them, 9.9125. Man, these teams are not going quietly. Florida hits another bar routine. Kayla DiCello, 3 to go. Reagan Smith's score coming in, 9.9125. So far, Florida has picked up 0.0125 in this rotation. 4 gymnasts to go. This is Jordan Bowers, the sophomore. She has been top 10 in the regular season on every single event and the all-around, but she has not done a routine any point this year as critical as this one. You basically got to be perfect. Beautiful. If you watched Oklahoma at last year's NCAA championship, she did that pass, went out of bounds. They retweaked her floor routine this year, moved that pass up earlier in her routine. Oh! Again, a little bit low. She was going for the stuck landing. I feel like that is a 1/2 tenth. Kind of slid a leg forward and a leg back, just again, on the borderline. It's up to the judges. That was great. It was really good. Should be a 9-9 at the very minimum. But the one landing on the double pike, that is going to depend on what the judges do with it. Florida on bars. Kayla DiCello in the third spot, a 9.975. Are you kidding me? And Trinity Thomas, who just tied the 10-0 career record, is on bars. Oh, she sticks it. A little arm wave and a lean forward, which should be a slight deduction. But I'll tell you what, so what? Tears in her eyes immediately coming off that event. Gives a wave to the crowd and gives a gator chomp. What a treat for everybody here watching one of the greatest ever in women's collegiate gymnastics do her craft and also call it a career. But the question is, will it be a career that includes an NCAA team championship? We're going to find out shortly. Jordan Bowers may have something to say about it. 9.95. So through 3 gymnasts, Florida has picked up just a little bit. Not enough yet. This is Faith Torres. She has been the star freshman for the Sooners. Unbelievable on this event because of things like this. Watch this double layout. Oh, quick step out of that. A little bit too uncontrolled in my opinion. Was it a half? Was it a tenth? Also a little quick on that double back on the step out. This is not going to be higher than a 9.9, in my opinion. It was great. Don't get me wrong. It was great. Beautiful tumbling, well executed, but I think a little quick on those landings. And you think, well, 9.9, that's great, John. It is great, but not when you see what is happening on the uneven bars. Trinity Thomas, a 9.9125. Leanne Wong just finished, and it was all cheers and excitement over there again. I expect it to be another 9.9. So Faith Torres' score is big because here's the drama building on floor exercise. And if you watch the pre-show, you better watch the pre-show, by the way. I don't want to hear anybody not watching the pre-show. I told you one of the keys on floor was going to be the last 2 gymnasts for Oklahoma because it was going to come down to the last couple of routines. And this next one I mentioned in particular. Danae Fletcher injured her Achilles before the conference meet. At the end of the season, they really managed that injury, and it wasn't anything serious, but they didn't want it to turn into anything serious. So she stayed off of it for the most part, came back, competed one day at the regionals, and then she also competed here in the semifinals. Now, she did a very good job. However, very good job was a 9.8. And right now, 9.8 is not gonna be good enough. Leanne Wong on bars in the 5th spot, a 9.975. Faith Torres, I didn't think it would go over a 9.9. I mentioned those uncontrolled landings. She got a 9.925, but this is Danae Fletcher. She's capable of perfection, but coming back from an injury, all the pressure to win a national title right here. Beautiful whip to double. Little slide back on that landing. More to go, gotta be perfect. Really good. Danae Fletcher with all the pressure on, with the history coming up to that floor routine this season. She absolutely brought it. Oh my heavens, waiting for the last bar score for Florida. They absolutely crushed that rotation. Right now, the low score they have is a 9-9. This last one's certainly going to go above that. Hard to find any deductions on the Danae Fletcher floor routine other than maybe that slide on the first landing. Riley McCusker finishes with a 9.925. Florida is done. And they've got a 198.2375. Just add up all the decimal places because they're all there. Every decimal place that's ever existed. Holy cow, my heavens. We're going to tell you exactly what Oklahoma needs to win this, because I think it is definitely Danae Fletcher, a 9.9375. Danny Sievers now rounding out the rotation. I'm trying to do math and I failed math. Trying to give you guys the needs too, but beautiful. And I do believe it was in the books before that routine even started. I think that was a victory lap for Danny Sievers and the Oklahoma Sooners. I don't have the final numbers in front of me, but I don't want to get over. There you go. They've updated even before that Danny Sievers score. They moved ahead of Florida by 1/10 of a point. We said it would come down to the last couple routines. That's exactly what it did. Danae Fletcher was an anchor position in the semifinals, second to last here, and it was her floor routine. It was the one we talked about that clinched the 6th NCAA Team Championship for the Oklahoma Sooners. It is really nice to know that I squeezed into this leotard for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. That'll do it from the floor exercise. Hopefully you guys are tuned into ABC to finish out this amazing NCAA championships. Thanks for listening on the Stream Team. Ashley Miles, Greg, Bridget Sloan, Kennedy Baker, hope you're feeling better, but this was a lot of fun. Thanks, everybody.